Taurus sign representatives should get ready for changes, because the heavenly forces are preparing something special for them. It seems that all difficulties are behind them, and the karmic moon is about to open the gates to a powerful flow of happiness, success and unexpected prosperity. What once seemed like a pipe dream has every chance of becoming a reality as early as April or May of this year. The past should remain in the past, as the stars open the way for Taurus to prosperity, which they undoubtedly deserve. On April 13th, the karmic full moon will fill all areas of life with energy, full of both tension and opportunity. The influence of Venus, in turn, will become a powerful magnet of calm, reliably protecting you from any upheaval. The inner voice will confidently guide, prompting the right decisions even in the most chaotic situations. The presence of Libra will enhance the natural ability of Taurus to see beauty and harmony even in the most difficult and conflicting circumstances. Those around you will be amazed at how easily and effortlessly they manage to emerge victorious from the most confusing situations. In addition, there will be a unique ability to recognize at a glance ill-wishers. Intuition will allow you to unmistakably determine when the interlocutor's smile becomes fake, and compliments hide envy of success. Around these personalities as if there is an invisible glow that allows you to quickly understand their ulterior motives. There is a chance to easily get rid of such people, which immediately releases the energy previously spent on unnecessary excitement. After getting rid of ill-wishers, open new horizons of financial well-being. It becomes clear that money is not just a means of exchange, but a powerful flow of energy that can bring joy and inner balance. There is a strong desire to use financial resources in a new way, without the usual stress and fear for the future. Financial independence ceases to be a distant dream, becoming a tangible and achievable goal. At this point, a person experiences genuine pleasure when expenses become well considered, and acquisitions precisely correspond to the desires that have long waited for realization. On April 27th, the karmic new moon becomes a turning point that opens up new facets of the personality. The appearance of the moon in the constellation of the person, passing through the sector of prosperity in his personal horoscope, becomes a catalyst for significant changes in life. The qualities inherent in his birth, such as determination, purposefulness and mental balance, are manifested with renewed vigor, getting rid of previous anxieties and doubts. People around him are amazed to see how circumstances that previously caused him anxiety and confusion are now resolved with ease. Each successfully completed case, whether it is the payment of an old debt, the recovery of lost papers or the settlement of domestic disputes, opens a new source of vitality, filling existence with new meaning and a sense of freedom. The acquired ability to think optimistically and detach oneself from negative thoughts becomes a magnet for real good fortune. A person realizes that insignificant details that used to seem like obstacles now serve as stepping stones on the way to great success. The potential of his zodiac sign is revealed in all its glory. He clearly sees how his actions differ from the actions of representatives of other signs, and this is what becomes his strength. What yesterday seemed a complex problem, today turns into an elementary task. The universe has generously gifted them with the sign of Taurus, endowed with a unique ability to overcome life's obstacles with enviable calmness and almost without apparent effort, confidently paving the way to long-awaited happiness and prosperity. The upcoming karmic full moon in Libra, which will occur on May 12, puts them in front of a fateful choice that can dramatically and irrevocably change the relationship with the people around them. The inherent trait of Libra, the tendency to put their own interests on the back burner for the good of others, comes into conflict with their innate tenacity and perseverance. For the first time they openly and publicly declare their true desires, without fear of being labeled selfish. To everyone's surprise, people who are used to using their kindness and irreprovability, experience a real shock, because now Taurus puts himself in first place. Respect, which before had to achieve with considerable effort, now becomes an obvious and indisputable fact. The world is rapidly adapting to the new reality, in which Taurus is no longer willing to compromise, and confidently and firmly dictates its terms. It is at this turning point collapses three persistent myths about this sign of the zodiac, which for a long time prevented them from living a full and harmonious life. The first myth, which says that Taurus is always slow and indecisive, is shattered before the eyes of the amazed public when they lightning-fast refuse an unfavorable offer or rapidly launch their own project, impressing everyone with their unprecedented speed and determination. A common misconception about Taurus is their alleged excessive focus on material goods. This myth is dispelled when the Taurus does not hesitate to refuse financial gain, prioritizing mental balance and fidelity to their principles, which often causes amazement among others. Another stereotype portrays Taurus as a man who is ready to endure indefinitely and unable to say no. However, this image fails when Taurus firmly rejects toxic relationships, even if they bind him or her to loved ones, cutting off outdated ties that pull him or her back. Notably, on May 14, the moon meets the bright star Antares, whose mystical radiance symbolizes a release from past anxieties, which may surprise others with a manifestation of Taurus' new inner strength. During this period comes a moment of deep realization and deliverance from inner demons that have long hindered its development. The first of these demons is the obsessive fear of losing stability and control. Taurus realizes that absolute control is unattainable, and real life begins when he lets go of the situation, trusting the natural course of events. Once Taurus stops obsessing about control, the fear loses its power over him. The second evil spirit tormenting a person is an all-consuming fear of other people's opinions and paralyzing fear of appearing in an unfavorable light in front of others. However, with time comes the realization that sarcastic remarks and picky criticism from other people, this is not an objective indicator of personal failures, but only a manifestation of their own dissatisfaction with life and envy of others' success. As soon as an individual stops evaluating themselves through the prism of other people's views and expectations, the agonizing fear disappears without a trace, giving way to the long-awaited lightness and inexhaustible energy necessary for the realization of new ambitious undertakings. The third insidious demon is a deep-rooted anxiety for an uncertain future, which like heavy chains restrains movements and prevents you from enjoying the present moment. But one day comes the realization that the future is formed here and now, at the current moment in time, and fruitless worries about what has not yet happened and may never happen, only mercilessly suck life force and poison existence. It is only necessary to give up the pernicious habit of constantly calculating in your mind the most gloomy and pessimistic scenarios for the development of events, as you instantly feel the long-awaited freedom and courage in making responsible decisions. Complete elimination of these three main fears means a final break with long outdated and outmoded beliefs that have long served as an insurmountable obstacle to a full and happy life. Yes, the world around you is changing at breakneck speed, and there are fewer and fewer people who sincerely share your innermost values and life principles. But it is this new reality that allows you to see with utmost clarity those with whom you are really on the way, and those who should be left behind without the slightest regret and unnecessary hesitation. On May 22, the firmament has prepared an unusual sight for Taurus. The moon, as if guided by the invisible hand of fate, will approach Saturn, the planet of karma and retribution. At this point, the sign will feel how long-forgotten episodes of life, as if surfacing from the depths of memory, appear before them in crystal-clear light. This is not a test, but rather an opportunity to look at themselves from the outside and free themselves from the burden of the past. In the mind of Taurus may arise memories of past mistakes and actions that seemed long buried under the layer of time. In such moments, it is especially important to remain silent, because it will be the most reliable ally. Secret forgiveness of past blunders will help Taurus to feel how their shoulders fall off the weight of years of restraining their movements. It is in this period, Taurus may realize the need to break off relationships that no longer bring joy and satisfaction. The first alarm bell will be a feeling of fatigue and emptiness after communicating with a certain person. The second sign is the constant need to prove their importance and justify themselves. Finally, the third signal will be a sharp deterioration of mood at every mention of the name of this person or when receiving a message from him. All of these signs indicate that it is time to get rid of the ties that are pulling you back and preventing you from moving forward. There are situations when firmness and integrity become a necessity, even when it comes to the closest people. If their actions hinder progress and self-improvement, you have to be tough. Emotional dependence on past offenses and experiences are no longer burdensome. The feeling of freedom and lightness is overwhelming, as if a person takes his first full breath after a long imprisonment. On May 23, the celestial bodies are preparing an unexpected turn of events when the moon approaches Venus, the celestial patroness. This astronomical phenomenon radically transforms the attitude toward financial matters. Anxiety and exhausting struggle for every penny are replaced by calmness and faith in one's own strength. The moon, passing through the sectors responsible for material well-being, opens new horizons and unexpected sources of income, as if money begins to appear out of nowhere. Venus, in the sectors associated with excessive spending, illustrates the difference between senseless waste and wise investment. Representatives of the sign of Taurus surprise others with metamorphoses in the financial sphere. Those who were previously characterized by carelessness in spending, suddenly show miracles of frugality, demonstrating the calculating, uncharacteristic of their former image. Conversely, Taurus, always characterized by prudence, suddenly jump into adventurous ventures, causing amazement at the rapid growth of their capital. The decisions they make cause a gamut of feelings, from admiration to envy and complete incomprehension. It seems as if the Taurus open knowledge that is inaccessible to others. They begin to feel financial freedom is not as an illusory dream, but as a tangible reality that gives independence. There is an awakening of financial intuition, which allows you to unmistakably identify promising opportunities and reject dubious proposals fraught with trouble. The resolution of a long-standing financial problem, long held in tension, is the culmination of the transformation of Taurus, causing surprise in their environment. Their newfound calm and self-confidence sometimes irritate others. And the more tangible their success becomes, the more criticism is heard behind their backs. It is at this point that Taurus demonstrates their unique ability to resist negative influences from the outside. It seems that the individual finds a kind of satisfaction in the fact that his actions cause others a sense of irritation, seeing in this confirmation of the correctness of the chosen path. The more his successes cause envy and misunderstanding in the eyes of others, the more confidently he continues to move forward, realizing the very dreams that yesterday seemed a pipe dream. On the horizon looms May 27th, the day of the new moon in the sign of Gemini, which, as the stars promise, will be the moment of opening the door to a whole new life, where health and career growth are harmoniously intertwined into a whole. The moon, having taken a position in the house of insight, as if removes the veil from the eyes, which for a long time hid the true causes of fatigue and apathy. The individual now begins to clearly realize that the old way of life no longer meets his needs. Bad habits such as unhealthy food, late bedtimes, and constant neglect of self-care turn from mere irritants into something that must be dealt with decisively. There is an overwhelming desire to experience one's body as healthy, full of energy and attractive, enjoying every moment of life, especially considering that a period of no major challenges is predicted to lie ahead, which means that wellness will come in handy. The individual suddenly discovers that morning walks, for which he never had time before, are transformed from a burdensome duty into a source of real pleasure. Abandoning the usual coffee in favor of crystal clear water can be an unexpected source of pleasure. This small change can create a wave of positive change, leaving you feeling invigorated, confident and energized. People around you can't help but notice the transformation that takes place right before their eyes. In the professional sphere, the influence of the karmic new moon opens up the ability to unmistakably understand people, to see their true intentions and hidden motives. Recent conflicts that seemed unsolvable are becoming a thing of the past. There is the ability to intuitively determine who can be trusted, and from whom it is better to keep a distance. Colleagues note the increased confidence and equanimity, which favorably affects the atmosphere in the team. Tension is replaced by mutual understanding and support, replacing competition and envy. In the career comes a period of triumph and clear, balanced decisions. For the first time in a long time there is an opportunity to clearly articulate and voice their own ideas, which are finally recognized by management. Proposals are accepted with surprising ease, and projects that previously seemed too bold or risky, receive immediate support. Taurus influence is at its zenith, attracting public attention, and this new state of affairs is suddenly enjoyable. Successes of representatives of this zodiac sign serve as a source of inspiration for some and a cause of anxiety for others, which is undoubted evidence of the correctness of the chosen path. The feeling of soon coming period of serenity permeates every cell of the body. Taurus has certainly earned its triumph. Let all the innermost desires, hitherto kept secret, will come true with special strength and splendor. It is necessary to boldly go forward, enjoying every step on the way to prosperity, casting aside all doubts and worries. Ahead is not just peace, but a full-fledged life filled with unexpected turns of fate, successful decisions and stunning victories. The uniqueness of the representatives of the sign becomes a source of power, causing admiration and even envy of others. The universe is preparing a grand finale, the road is open, and now everything depends solely on their own actions and decisions.